With that down and out of the way, let's move on to main topic number 2. And our second main topic today gets sent in to us from Theodore, who writes, "Hi, John. Have you watched the 3rd season of Stranger Things? If yes, do you think it lives up to the hype, or is it a rehash of previous seasons? Thanks." All right, thanks a lot for the question, Theodore. And one of the things that I utilized my 4th of July as a day off, and Anne had the day off as well, was to sit down and binge watched the entire 3rd season. It's only 8 episodes. We watched the entire 3rd season of Stranger Things. Now, I am a fan of the Stranger Things franchise. Not the biggest fan in the world. I don't run around with Stranger Things t-shirts or anything like that, but I am quite a fan of it. I really do like the series. I like the 1st season, probably a little bit more than the 2nd. I know there were some people who had problems with the 2nd season. I actually thoroughly enjoyed the 2nd season. Even that one episode that everybody complains about, where 11 was off on her own, everybody complains about that one. I actually liked that episode. I thought it was a nice little change of pace. It gave a little bit of a different angle on things, and I liked it, and I enjoyed the season very much. I'll tell you just right off the top, I loved this season. I think this is my favorite season. I think this is absolutely my favorite season. Now, this season has the advantage that it got to build on things that they already established. They did the hard work of establishing in the first 2 seasons, so the 3rd season has an advantage. But they took advantage of that advantage, and I thought it worked really well, and I was completely drawn into it right away. And I'll tell you what, I went into Stranger Things Season 3 with a little bit of skepticism, because I'm like, okay, wait a minute, upside down again. They're just bringing this. I thought they finished it off. I thought they wrapped it up at the end of Season 2. Really, they're bringing it in again. I know they had that little tag in the upside down, and the monster was still, I get all that, but I went in a little bit skeptical. I admit it. But as a fan, as somebody just watching it, I found their explanation of it all satisfying about why that creature is still there. It has a little bit of a Slither feel, and I'm not going to give away, I'm not going to go into any spoilers with it, but if you've seen Stranger Things Season 3, you'll know what I mean, that it very much borrows a little bit from Slither, the James Gunn horror film, which I love, by the way, but if you saw that, you'll recognize some of the similarities here. The strength of Stranger Things, be it seasons 1, 2, or 3, are the dynamics and the nature of the relationships therein. The core group of friends, I just love it. Every time the camera's on and either the entire core group of friends or a number of them are together, because for a lot of this season, the entire core group of friends aren't all together. Dustin is off with another group for a lot of it, but whenever I get to see these groups of friends together and their dynamic and all that kind of stuff, I just love it. And you know what else is really funny? I never thought about it this way until Anne brought it up. We're watching the show, and Anne says, this show really feels like this is a visual narrative of a group of kids playing a role-playing game, playing a Dungeons and Dragons game. And she didn't mean, oh yeah, we see them sitting at a table playing Dungeons. No. It feels like their whole adventure are characters going through a role-playing game adventure, a Dungeons and Dragons kind of adventure. That's how it kind of feels. And when she said that, when my wife said that, I was like, it's totally true. And she said that around episode 4 or 5. And then I watched the entire rest of the season through that lens. Like, these are characters in a role-playing game, and they're going through their adventure. And I actually loved it on that level. And I'll tell you something else that I really liked. I love the 11 character. I really do. I love the 11 character very, very much. But the 11 character is often just the nuclear option, right? Once 11 shows up, everything's solved, right? It's almost a Superman-like kind of figure. I love that 11. Now, again, I'm not going to spoil anything, but while she is very prominent in this season as a character, her role in terms of her power is a lot diminished from previous seasons. Her powers don't have as big of a role in this season as they have in previous, and I liked it. I liked it. Because you could arguably say, all the other kids, all the other characters aren't even really all that necessary to this show. All you need to have to do is have 11 walk around, find the problems, and fix it. And they handle that in such a way in this season that I found very satisfying, exciting, gave a lot more importance to the other characters. And I just think, and it gave her a chance, the 11 character a chance, to really just survive as a character rather than as the nuclear option. And I appreciated that a great deal. Now, what I found in this is that, Hopper, who is of course played by David Harbour, Hellboy, he's been a big character in all the seasons. But this is really, I found, by my interpretation, a Jim Hopper centric season in many ways. And I thought he was great. His dynamic again with Winona Ryder as Joyce is fantastic. I love that. All the kids are back and they're great. The kids who were introduced last season, for instance, Sadie Sink as Max, loved her. Now, everybody's talking about this Robin character, the new character that works with Steve at the ice cream shop. Did you know, I just found this out this morning, I didn't realize this. She is Handsome Hawk, Ethan Hawke. She's Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman's daughter. I had no idea until I read that this morning. Somebody shared that with me this morning. I was like, well, that totally makes sense. I love her, so I love all the established dynamics. I love all the new stuff. I love the Hopper stuff. I love the Russians are a part of this thing. You know what? I dig it. It's silly when it needed to be silly. It's serious when it needs to be serious. It's a little scary when it needs to be a little scary. It's fun when it needs to be fun, but at all times it's entertaining. Is it a perfect season of television? No. But I gotta say, I never enjoyed myself as much watching a Stranger Things season than I did watching this season. Again, I'm not the biggest Stranger Things fan, but this season for me really knocked it out of the park, and I really adored it. Ends well. I don't know if we're going to see another season or not. Netflix seems to be canceling everything after 3 seasons, so we'll see what they do with that. But if you haven't watched it, or you've been on the fence about watching Stranger Things Season 3, I do highly recommend you go and check it out. I had a very good time with it. What do you guys think? Did any of you guys watch Stranger Things Season 3? If so, jump down to the comment section below and let me know your thoughts. All right.